Well, let's cross over and talk to Mr. Webster Griffin Tarpley, author and historian. Tell me your take on this. We're talking about totally targeting residential areas, and of course, this is not the first time we've seen this in the Syrian situation, but now even their water supply basically is cut off. Where's the condemnation internationally for these type of acts?
Well, it is lacking, and you're absolutely right in the implication. We've got all kinds of humanitarian emergencies in this world, but when you have a large city of 3 million people that has been without running water for 10 days, you have the makings of a huge public health emergency, and that can include epidemic diseases that will rage far beyond the borders of Syria. It's all the more tragic because this war has essentially been decided, right? Aleppo has been liberated. Homs has been liberated, and Hama is in the process of being liberated, and Aleppo will soon be liberated. And there's not really anything that's going to change this momentum, even though the reports here in Washington are that the U.S. is delivering anti-tank missiles and Stinger anti-aircraft missiles. These are now too little and too late. And you can take it from somebody like Prince Bandar of Saudi Arabia, right? The reports are that Prince Bandar is shipping his contingents of terrorist rebels out of Syria and into Ukraine to fight against Russian forces in the eastern Ukraine and perhaps even elsewhere. Here in Washington, we've got a group of Secretary Kerry, Ambassador Power, General Petraeus, General Keane. They're all trying to find a way to get a U.S. bombing campaign going. And the public face of this is Anne Marie Slaughter, former top State Department official. And her argument is the U.S. ruling class is seething with hatred about the twin humiliations of Ukraine and Syria. And Anne Marie Slaughter suggests it's time to bomb Syria as a means not only of acting in Syria, but also to intimidate Putin by attacking one of his allies. So this is the kind of insanity we have here, and therefore we hear very, very little about a huge emergency like Aleppo.
Well, do you think, Mr. Tarpley, you've just brought up some interesting points, at this point in time, with everything that has happened after 3 years, that Washington would actually, even at this point, try to bomb Syria, try to start that bombing campaign? Why don't they, so to speak, cut their losses and get out of Syria at this point in time?
Cutting their losses would be the rational thing to do, of course, but the hysteria of this ruling elite, their schizophrenia, their rejection of reality, I think is reaching a very, very dangerous level. And they're making attempts, right? Every couple of weeks we get some attempted provocation, some kind of an attempted false flag where something happens and President Hollande of France or the British Foreign Office or the State Department starts screaming about another chemical warfare, gas attack or something of this sort. These things usually fall apart within a couple of days, but they're still trying to get this false flag attack on Syria.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being with us out of Washington, author and historian, Mr. Webster Griffin Tarpley.